Good evening. This is episode 6. Our website is srt.la // RM16.
No, RML6.
Oh, that's an L. Okay. Let's start over. Episode srt.la /RML6.
That stands for Rosary Making Life.
Okay. It looks like a 1, but it's a little L.
I can change that.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we can work with that. Today is September the 22nd?
21st.
21st. I'm jumping ahead. Okay. September 21st. I'm trying to read what's on the screen, and it's not working this evening, but we're trying
that
to...
doesn't mean that we have a... That doesn't mean we have a teleprompter. It's just you're
No.
trying to interpret what's on the screen.
Right, the codes. Okay, so we're getting all of our up and running technical...
Do we have a saint for the day?
We do have a saint for today. It's St. Matthew. St. Matthew the Apostle.
Yeah, it still looks like a 1, but...
It's a little L. It does look like a 1. Okay. Sorry about that. We are live. We are featuring some of our new products on our website. This here is a check glass rosary in a 6mm bead. It is July's color, red. I call it ruby red because it's a bright popping red. And that is from the Czech Republic. The glass is. Here we have a book that is from World War II. It is an Army and Navy song and service book. It does have the Jewish, Catholic, and Protestant, I guess you would call them generic services, and hymns. There are hymns in there. And the Stations of the Cross are in there. And then we have a new book, Rediscover Catholicism. Well, it's not... It's pre-owned, but it's in very, very good condition. I think there's one tiny little tear down here at the bottom of the book. It's a really good book by Matthew Kelly, and I encourage you to check that out. This one here is The Last Crusade, and it concerns Spain in 1936, the oppression of Catholicism, the martyrs. This is the Little Office of the Blessed Virgin Mary. It is a blue cover. It looks kind of black in the picture, but it's blue, very dark blue, with the gilt frontal words and symbol. Very nice little booklet there. Here are a few items we found at estate sales, and this one here is made out of an alabaster type, I guess you call it a wall decoration. It has a little hole at the top where you can hang it. It did have 2 pieces coming down, one on this side and one on that side, but this one broke. So we had one of our clever people here at our business take the other side off, and they match nearly perfectly. That's Our Lady of Guadalupe in the middle. It's a little blurry. Can you kind of clean it up?
Out a little bit,
zoom out a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's even better. This is a vintage crucifix. It is made by the Gallo Company. They made a lot of these in all different sizes. And this one was also found in a estate sale. It's a little worn. It looks like the lady just loved it and held it, kind of like St. Teresa did with hers. This here is, it's hard to tell in the picture, but it is pink with a Aurora Borealis finish. It's a delicate looking rosary, small beads. They're long instead of round, they're elongated. And it's check glass. It's called pressed glass. It has like a 3 side to each bead, kind of a triangular, but it's kind of dainty looking, but it's very nice. Make a nice gift. These booklets here are instruction concerning worship of the Eucharistic mystery, and they go into detail. Now, I'm trying to look at the date because this is an older dated instruction, but it is very thorough. Glow in the dark bead rosary. This one does glow, a green glow in the dark. During the day, it appears white. It picks up light from either the natural sunlight or indoor bulb light, either type. And that one is with the nickel, silver, over brass components. So those are some of our new items. Now what we're going to work on this evening is a magnetic rosary bracelet. This little band is a wire and it has magnetic ends, which makes it easy to put on your wrist. So this one protrudes a little longer and it snaps right in there. It just really catches it, which is kind of nice if you're having to hook your rosary by yourself. The end comes off. It unscrews all the way off so that you can put your beads on. The deal about this is the whole of your bead has to be bigger than the end of this. So if you can see that in there, let's see. It is not real large, but my average beads do not fit over that, and seed beads will not fit over that. The hole has to be a little bigger. I can't tell you the size exactly, except that here's a finished one. So like I said, my seed beads wouldn't fit. So we had to come up with something to space our Father and Hail Mary beads on this. So what we came up with was some wooden beads. And our main beads are made out of onyx. They are like a beautiful onyx with the different variations of color in them. Some have brown and some have cream, but most of it is a kind of a white looking. So we took the end off. We have to put our beads on to where it goes all the way down to the other end that doesn't come off, which would be this end. So we're going to start with a wooden bead.
Hey, just wanted to let
just
you know.
slides right on.
Hoofed, who watched us yesterday, is back. So.
Okay, great. Welcome. And this magnet will pick up anything that's metal. So we kind of have to scoot things over when we're working. Now what I did was I got these ready, but normally the end is just a plain little jump ring, and I took that jump ring off because that's the first thing that the ladies lose. They get their little cross or their little Mary caught on something, and there it goes. So they no longer have their cross or their Mary. So I put these split rings on before we got started. I bought these at a hobby craft place, and the deal is you have to get them to where it'll go through the hole at the top. This is not going to move, but it fits perfectly between the split right there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not going to go very far, but it does wiggle. So now we're going to slide that cross on, crucifix actually. And then we're going to put another bead, I'll show you this one, between the two. We want to, so they're not touching, so they can swing. So here goes another wooden bead. Now, this is our Mary, which looks like a rose, doesn't it? And it is a rose. It's a rose on both sides, but it opens. Inside, we have the miraculous medal. One half has the figure of Mary, the front side of the miraculous medal, and the other, if you flip it over, this is the back side of the miraculous medal right here. So they cleverly put it inside. I like it because it's a rose, which reminds us of the Rosary. And it too had a jump ring, and I took it off. And I made my own ring because this thing's pretty heavy. I took wire and I made a hoop to go through the double. This is pretty thick right here. Pretty thick. And so I made me a wire, and then I made another little hoop for the end. See if I can show it to you. There, see that little bitty opening there, right there, to go through the wire. Let's hope this works. Oh, just barely. I almost made it too small. So now we have our beginning on there. We have our crucifix and our rose, which is our Mary. So now we're going to put another wooden bead on. And now this is going to be our first onyx bead. That's our Our Father bead there. So we want to space it away from the Hail Mary beads. So we're going to put 3 wooden beads there to show your fingers that that's where the Our Father is, right there. One, 2, 3. There they are. Now we're going to start with our Hail Marys. There's one. And there's a spacer. There's 2. And there's a spacer. 3. And a spacer. 4. And a spacer. 5. Come on, 5. This one's really unique. It's got a big old splotch of brown right there. Makes it characteristic. Onyx. You never know. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's our, that one's got a different color brown. And then a space. And you see we have a little bit room left over, which is okay. You don't want a whole lot left over, but a little bit is good because that way it's not too tight. We're going to put this end back on. It just screws on there, and we're going to check it. And if we have to, we'll add another spacer and see what it looks like. Well, it's a little bit too much space. So, and you see that I put the same amount on this one, same amount. But onyx beads have various depth. Their depth is different. Some are bigger than others. So that's why we ended up with this extra space. So what's really nice about this, I can get another wooden bead or two. We're going to take it out of this bag because I have more. And let's see if we need one or two. Here's one. And here's two. Let's see what it looks like. Now if I wanted to, this is what's really nice about these little pre-made bands. So if I wanted to, I could take them all off and I could put them down here, or put one right there, however I want. And there we go.
Well, that was fast.
That was fast, wasn't it? I also made it in this brown. And on our website, it's in a blue bead. Now, this is a mineral also, but the blue bead is not. It's what you call faux marble, which is, it's a plastic, really, is what it is, but it looks like marble. So, but it has the same pieces. It has the Mary Rose and the crucifix. Now, this is just an easy way to craft a bracelet. Of course, there are harder ways, which we did the other night. And on a different episode, I think we made a blue aqua chain bead rosary. If y'all like, I can do it again, or we can do something else. I have the components to make a toggle bracelet. The toggle bracelet is a different clasp. I think we made one of those the other night too. But that's exactly what it is a toggle. It goes through. Of course, with this one, we would use Beadalon wire. This is a wire. And it is very thin and flexible, but stout enough to where your bracelet will stay together. So most ladies' wrists vary between 6 and 9 in a comfortable length. So we make different sizes and different colors. So I'm going to measure about 10 inches because I need to have a little extra. I use this cutting tool to cut the wire. like that. And then these are called crimp beads. And these crimp beads are just that. They crimp to make a connection for the wire so you can put your clasp on.
Jeff says this is way better than the NFL.
I have to agree with you. The NFL is just not doing too great. I wasn't pleased with them Cowboys. And I wasn't real pleased with some of the other teams either.
MMCC, which I think her name's Margaret, said she can't watch the video because of a problem with the browser, but she supports what we're doing and just wanted to say hi.
Well, hello and thank you. We appreciate your support. Okay, now, this is a crimp bead, and it just looks like a bead, and you put the wire through it, and then you put your toggle on. And even with my glasses, I'm not getting good aim there. Now you bend it over, and you go back through that bead. This is hard to show you, but it bends over. You can push it down. It's pretty tough little stuff. And then you slide that bead on there like that. You got both of them now. They're both on there. It makes a little loop right there.
Back it up.
Back it up just a little, Mike. It's a little blurry. There you go, right there. So it's right there is that crimp bead. And then this is called, where'd you go? Sorry about that. I lost my tool. I'm klutzy tonight. Okay. This is called a crimp tool. And I don't know if you can see that. It's got little notches in it. And these little notches are where you put your bead to press it. So we're going to squash it. That's basically what we're going to do. Just press down hard, and it flattens it. Makes it secure. Now you got this sticking out. And you don't want it sticking out. So cut it off. So we're going to bend the one we're keeping back away from it. And you want to get as close as you can to that smashed. Well, how do I turn this so you can see it? Right there. I'm going to cut it as close as you can. Because if you don't, it's going to scratch your wrist. Yep. Got a little bit, tiny bit sticking out, but I got it pretty good.
So this is a toggle?
This is a toggle.
Toggle bracelet, that is.
Okay, James, if you look at the computer, tell me how many seed beads did I put on?
A lot. 3 in between each bead, and then at the beginning, where the toggle is, I think you put 6. Does
All
that
right.
sound right? 6 or 7?
7 probably.
7.
All right, let's try 7. 1. I sold a bracelet just like this, and so I said, well, I'm going to make another one because it's so pretty. And when you don't make more than one of something and you sell it, then you don't have a model. Now, I could go get one of the other colors, but I thought, well, I'll just pull the picture up on the screen.
I should put it. I'm putting up on the
3, 4.
screen now here. This is the sapphire blue Aurora Borealis?
Yes.
Okay.
I just Aurora Borealis is pretty on any color. It's pretty on the clear. We made a clear rosary last night, and it's just beautiful. But I like this blue. All right, I got 7 beads. They're called seed beads, and these are clear. They're just a crystal, clear bead. Got 7 on there. Now we're going to put our first bead on. This is one of the Hail Marys. We're kind of doing this backwards. Now we're going to put 3 seed beads. 1, 2, 3. Another Hail Mary. There we go. 1, 2, 3. You can see that bead. I think they're just beautiful. They have that iridescence, and in the sunlight it really picks up the color. It'll pick up all kinds of hues, but your predominant color, of course, is the dark sapphire, which is real popular with the ladies. The ladies like blue. You can see it better down here. That looks a little better. That blue is just, it's deep, and it's just kind of eye-catching. Well, got my cheaters on, but my eyes are just tired, I guess. Or the holes are just really little. So now I've got 3, 4. So who are the Cowboys playing this weekend? Anybody know? Because I sure wasn't real happy with them last week.
I don't really follow that. I've been to the stadium, and it was awesome. But,
It is an awesome stadium. I have to agree with you.
You really do watch the screen instead of the players. It's so far down there, it's almost like looking at the bottom of the Death Star. From the,
But it's
like
such a beautiful place.
Oh, yeah. Texas really does go big.
And them Packers, I got mad at them too. They were supposed to win, in my opinion, but I don't know. This year's just not starting out the way I wanted it to. Oh well. We'll just have to pray for them Cowboys. And my cousins live in Wisconsin, so they're Packers fan. They weren't happy either. We're just going to have to say some Hail Marys there for them, huh? They need lots of prayer. Lots of heavenly help. Okay, this is coming along pretty good. Didn't take very long to make. Just my problem is I talk and then I mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was repairing some that I made today that I had 9 Hail Marys, not 10, and then all that sort of thing going on. You'd think I would check it before I cut it, but no, I didn't do that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, James, look at that picture. See where the little Mary medal is? How many beads do you think are right there?
It looks like 6 before the medal, and then oh, you mean 2? So probably about 8 or
7, maybe.
I think 8. No, maybe even 9. I think there's 9.
Okay. Now, one thing is, how long do I want my bracelet? That's the key to the whole thing. So if I was making it for a person, I would measure their wrist and put 2 or 3 of your fingers underneath the bracelet, what going to be the bracelet. So I'm going to do 7, and then I'm going to do oh yeah, we got to put Mary on. Slide Mary on there. And then we're going to do an Our Father. And then we have to put some more of these. And this is going to tell us how long it is. James, there's a ruler over there by the easy chair. Do you see it? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Okay. I have one on my tray, but they can't see that because it's all the same color, where this has different colors. So let's move some of this out of the way. And we're going to lay it down. Let's see. Right now, it's about right because 7.5 is a common size, and I have to tie it off. So with the toggle being right there and the other toggle being up here, I might even want to, well, looky there. I didn't have all the beads pushed down. Okay, now I could put a few more beads on, or I can put more beads right in between here.
Okay. Well, I thought there were 9 right there.
Probably so. Now, this is going to go on, and we're going to want it to fit right like that. So if I was to count, we're right in here, I bet I could put
5.
I could put 3 more of these little bitty seed beads and my crimp bead. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Do I need to move this over like that? Is that better or worse?
It's fine. No, it's fine.
Okay. Y'all let me know if you can't see those, because I'm trying to...
Well, now I can't see anything.
Okay. Follow my hands, Mike. Mike's working the camera tonight. Alright. Well, I'll put 3 more on. And these do vary in depth also. They're not perfectly sized. They're pretty close, of course, but some are fatter than others, so. Okay, so now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right there. And we have to put Jesus on. Alright, so we got Mary hanging down this way like that. So we want Jesus to hang in the same direction, like that. James, can you see it? Okay, that's perfect. See what I'm saying? That one and that one need to be in the same direction. You don't want this one opposite, like flap on the other side. Now, I have to get another crimp bead out. And these things come in this little package, and when you open it, they go everywhere. They're like static electricity goes bonkers. So you have to just kind of cheat and barely pick it out. Because if you move too fast, they go everywhere. Now, I'm going to slide the seed bead on. Not seed bead, crimp bead. And we're going to put our toggle on. And make sure that this fits inside there like that. And it does. When you go to buy them, try to always buy the same kind. I bought some and then I went back to a different store and bought some more, and they do not always interchange. I ran into more problems because when I dumped them out into my little case, thinking they didn't really matter, it did matter. The size of this hoop might not work for the other style. Some of them have more of a bow shape. And then after you make it and you've done got it all together, it won't go through. And I had to fix 2 today because of that. So try to always get the same style. Now I've got it through there like I did at the beginning, the same thing. And now we have a crimp tool. Mash it down and then pull it back as far back as you can get it. And you want to be able to cut this with your wire cutter as close as you can. There we go. And there we go. All done.
I think at this point it'd be good to, nobody was here to see the very beginning. They don't know the products that are the new products.
Here are some of our new products, a few of them.
Now we sell books, art, just about anything Christian, really. You know, it's not all rosaries and bracelets, etc.
This is a rosary, of course, in the ruby red check glass. This is an antique book from World War II. It's an Army-Navy song and service book. And, of course, it's used. It has Catholic, Christian, and Jewish services and hymns in there. And fun songs for the servicemen. This is a Matthew Kelly book, Rediscovered Catholicism. That's an excellent source for especially what you call cradle Catholics that want to learn about their faith. They want to know, I guess you'd say, more catechism. And this is a true story about the last crusade in Spain, the oppression of Catholics in the 1930s, mid-1930s. This is the little office of our Blessed Virgin Mary. This is a beautiful blue book. It looks kind of black in the picture, but it's a blue with a gilt front lettering and symbol. Let's see. This is a glow-in-the-dark rosary down here at the bottom. It appears white in the picture because during the daylight it looks white, but at night it turns green. It does glow. Nice for bedtime. The children, too. And this one is instruction concerning worship of the Eucharist. Now, this one, I believe, was written in the 80s, but it is pretty thorough. I think it was John Paul II.
Yes.
Okay. And this one here is a rose pink aurora borealis. It's kind of a little difficult to see that it's pink, but it is pink. And that the bottom screen is showing the color a little better than the top screen.
Oh, yes. I turned it up and we need to zoom out some on the top.
Zoom out a little on the top one. There you go. It's a little too blurry. Okay, now the bottom screen's a little better. It shows the pink up a little bit better. This is it's not a round bead. It's more of a elongated bead. It's kind of dainty looking, but it's sturdy. And I did make this one. I make all the... I think every rosary on there I made, didn't it? Well, it says, if there's anything on there I didn't make, it does say it. It says which ones I made, and almost nearly every rosary was made by me. I think there's a few bracelets that weren't made by me, the store-bought bracelets. This here is a vintage piece. It's made by the Gallo Company. It's older, and this was loved by a lady. I went to an estate sale and picked up both of these pieces at different sales. So they are pre-owned vintage pieces. This one is metal, and you can hang it up on the wall, or she just held it. You could tell she was like little Saint Teresa. She kind of, I guess, maybe she was sick, or I don't know, just loved Jesus, and she held it a lot. And this one here is alabaster, and it's Our Lady of Guadalupe. The picture's in the middle of this alabaster shell-looking wall decor, and at the top looks like a heart. Yeah, it's really pretty. So that's some of the newer products, and our bracelets are on there. These are the magnetic bracelets that, this is the one we just made. These are on there. And this one, I think this is a one of a kind. I didn't have any more of these beads, but I just had to make it with this because I thought it was so pretty. And then there's a blue one on there, and the blue is, it is a plastic, but it looks marble-like, and it's large beads too, but it's not a mineral. These are minerals. This is onyx, and I believe this is agate. So and then the spacers are wooden.
So it's 7:37. What do you want to do?
What do I want to do? Well, I could show them something that I may not get the whole thing done, of course, because it takes a while to make it. But this is an idea. If you're making something and you don't have enough, now for a rosary, you have to have 59 beads. And generally, when I do a rosary, I count my beads. If I'm at a estate sale or garage sale and I see a lady's necklace and I go, oh, I like those beads, and they're looking at me like, well, is she going to wear that, or what's she going to do with that? And I go, I'm going to make a rosary. Well, I start counting. And if there's not 59, I'm not happy. But if I have 53, I can do this. I can find 6 beads that will go with it. And this is what I did with these, because I found these wooden beads, these dark wooden beads, and there were not 59, but there were 53. And then I went and I found some tan colored ones, kind of the same shape almost, very close. And I said, you know what? I can make these my Our Fathers. And so I'm going to make this rosary with these nice looking dark, oh wow, it's even, I don't know if you, I guess it's like a walnut color. It's dark, almost chocolate brown, but they are wood. And then I'm going to add these for the Our Fathers here, and they'll stand out really pretty when it's done. But this is just an idea. I started to make it.
So let's just recap. You found a
necklace,
and you didn't have enough, but
no.
You managed to find some others.
Yes.
For the Our Fathers?
Yes.
And so you're going to make a rosary.
Yes, a wooden bead rosary.
So that's one of a kind, basically.
This will be one of a kind. I will not have another one like it. And I do that periodically. I buy most of my beads from 2 or 3 sources because I like the quality of their beads. But if I'm out shopping and I'm looking around, and if I see something that's uniquely pretty, and it has to have the right size hole, and that's what I was testing, was what size pin will fit. And if the hole is too large, the head of the pin will go through. But these worked out just right. Are you getting the focus right?
It's good.
It's good? Okay, great.
You might want to wait to make that until the next one.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm not going to be able to finish it if I start it tonight.
You're not even get a good start on it.
Well, we can tell you that today is St. Matthew's feast day, and he was, of course, one of the 12 apostles. So we ask St. Matthew to pray for us. Here's a unique little book we have in our store.
Oh, yeah.
And last evening we read one of the roses, which is I don't know if you would call it a chapter.
Yeah,
I guess it's a chapter. And this was written by St. Louis de Montfort. My copy is pretty dog-eared, but that's because I like to read this. Every day you can read a different chapter. A red rose, a mystical rose, a rosebud for little children. And all of these are stories or thoughts. The origin of the rosaries in here. Tell us about the rosary. Tell us about St. Dominic. Tell us about Our Lady. Blessed Alan de la Roche, who had a devotion to the rosary. The confraternity. Each one is a different topic. Fascinating little book. And as you can see, I highlighted the parts I really enjoyed so I could go back over there and I could share it with people.
So are we going to read a chapter?
Well, I like this story here. I think I've read it before, but it's just like my favorite one. It's the 7th rose. It says, ever since Blessed Alan de la Roche re-established this devotion, the voice of the people, which is the voice of God, called it the Rosary. The word rosary means crown of roses. That is to say that every time people say the Rosary devoutly, they place a crown of 153 red roses and 16 white roses upon the heads of Jesus and Mary. Now, a rosary to most people is 59 beads, but that's one set of 3, because the origin of the rosary tells us that they actually said what we call a rosary 3 times, because they did all of the joyous, all of the sorrowful, and all of the glorious mysteries. Of course, since then, another set has been added by John Paul II, which is the Luminous.
But this book predates that.
This book predates that. This is an older book. It was written by St. Louis de Montfort. And so, here it says, Our Lady, it says that the roses will never fade or lose their exquisite beauty. So your prayers are roses that don't die. Our Lady has shown her thorough approval of the name Rosary. She has revealed to several people that each time they say a Hail Mary, they are giving her a beautiful rose, and that each complete rosary makes a crown of roses. So if you said one set of mysteries, it wouldn't be a crown, but it would be a chaplet, like a wreath.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm wondering here, but with the luminous mysteries, I wonder if, because,
well, I guess it'd be a bigger crown.
I
guess it'd be a bigger crown. Because I think Mary likes prayer, and she likes to hear her psalter said, so go for it, if you want to. The well-known Jesuit brother, Alphonsus Rodriguez, used to say his rosary with such fervor that he often saw a red rose come out of his mouth at each Our Father, and a white rose at each Hail Mary. The red and white roses were equal in beauty and fragrance. The only difference was their color.
Now, who was this?
Brother Alphonsus Rodriguez. He was a Jesuit. It doesn't say what year. I don't know. But this was written by a saint, so here we go. The Chronicles of St. Francis tell of a young friar who had the praiseworthy habit of saying the crown of Our Lady, the Rosary, every day before dinner. One day, for some reason or other, he had not managed to say it. The refectory bell had already been rung when he asked the superior to allow him to say it before coming to the table, and he obtained permission, so he went to his cell to pray. He had been gone a long time, and the superior sent another friar to fetch him. He found him in his room, bathed in a heavenly light, facing Our Lady, who had 2 angels with her. Beautiful roses kept issuing from his mouth at each Hail Mary. The angels took them one by one and placed them on Our Lady's head, and she smilingly accepted them. Finally, 2 other friars, who had been sent to find out what happened to the first 2 friars, saw the lovely scene, and Our Lady did not go away until the whole rosary had been said. By whole rosary we mean all 15 decades. So the complete rosary is a large crown of roses, and the rosary of 5 decades is a little wreath or a small crown of heavenly roses that we place on the heads of Jesus and Mary. The rose is the queen of flowers, and so the rosary is the rose of all devotions and is therefore the most important one.
And that was by St. Louis de Montfort.
Yes, and that was the 7th rose story. And as you can see, there's a lot of stories.
There's over 50.
Yeah, my poor book's falling apart because I've been hauling it around everywhere. 50 rose stories.
Okay, it is 7:48. So if you want to run it to the terminal, which would be 8 o'clock, then we have 12 minutes.
Well, we could repeat this if you want, or let's see. I could just start this rosary and show you how it's put together. What do you think? We'll call it an evening?
We could. Yeah, we have viewers. It's just we didn't expect to end
so
early.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Go get a holy card. You can talk about that.
Okay.
Well, go ahead and start on that.
Start on this rosary. Okay, so I have one bead on here because I was testing these pins to see if I had the right size, and I think that is the correct size. How I determine the pin is by the size of the bead's depth front to back. Front to back is, I guess you would say, the diameter, but not the diameter in, I don't know, it's not the diameter, I guess it is. These are almost rondelle in shape. They're not really round as in like these beads are round. These beads are almost perfectly round. They are faceted, but they're the same size front to back and across. But these little ones are not. These are called 8mm, so you can see there's quite a bit of difference there. They're probably a 6, but because they're more rondelle in shape and not evenly shaped, I had to go with a little smaller pin. I'll put some pins out. My tray. And I already have one on, and as you can see, it's a chain type system where going to do a set of 10, a decade of beads in the brown, the dark brown. So we slide the pin through the bead. I need my red tool. There they are. And I'm going to bend this to make another end like this end. This end, I call it the head, but it's just the other end of the pin. Like that. Looks like an eye, like the eye of a needle, but pretty open. So we're going to bend it over and then back, and it makes hard to position it to where I can show it to you. I'm all thumbs tonight. There, let's see. Turn it, kind of almost like a question mark. Almost like a question mark. A little bit too close. A little blurry. Back off a little bit. There you go, right there. Stop. Okay. So, made it kind of a question mark shape. And now we're going to slide another pin on. And we're going to close it. We pull it on down.
Okay, so what you're describing here is the chain process of assembling the strands, and then you connect the strands to each other using chain.
Using chain.
Okay, so that's the beginning of that, and so we did manage to get a holy card. So I don't know which one this is.
Well,
so.
let's take a look. Well, we have it double enveloped so it doesn't get messed up. Oh, it's St. Francis. This is one of our holy cards on our site. And it comes with a prayer and a medal. And on the medal, it shows St. Francis, what looks like a dog beside him.
So if you might want to explain a little about St. Francis. This is
St. Francis
of Assisi.
Of Assisi loved animals. He was a brother. And this is the beginning of the order of Franciscans, because other men joined him in forming the order. Then they presented themselves to the Pope at that time, and he allowed them to congregate together in prayer, and they are noted for their brown, humble garment. It usually has like a hood on the back. Can't really see it on this one. They look kind of like monks. And then they were outdoors a lot. He liked to go and be with the creatures. There's lots of stories about him and the animals. The opposite side of the medal has St. Anthony on it. St. Anthony is holding the child Jesus. St. Anthony of Padua, P-A-D-U-A, Padua, which is Italy, and Assisi's in Italy. So you actually get a double-sided medal with this one. And this is the most famous prayer written by him. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love, For it is in giving that we received, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen. And that's also made into a song.
Okay, if you want to go ahead and end with a prayer, I guess?
Yes.
I posted the link to that and to the other items, and it's also on our episode website, which is
srt.la/RML6. And you got it in caps this time so I can read it better. The little L looked like a 1. So thank you for changing that so I don't say it incorrectly. RML stands for Rosary Making Live. We really appreciate you joining us this evening. We hope you enjoyed this time with us as we appreciate your patronage and your support for our ministry. Okay. And we will end with Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Good night.
Okay, the stream is concluded, and